Guys, we're going to head out to Progressive Field. We got a playoff game coming in 1 sec. Before we get to Progressive, a quick reminder that you guys have probably heard of Viagra Cialis before. Maybe you tried it, but if you haven't and are looking something that goes beyond the usual pill, it's time to meet Rougit Go Long. It's not just another pill. It's a total game changer for confidence. If you're ready to level up your confidence in the bedroom, head to Rougit.com and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL for 15% off your first order. That's Rougit.com, promo code LOCKEDONNFL. Make sure to use our code so they know we sent you. And with that little surprise to the show, we are joined by Jay Crawford at Progressive Field to give us a little scene setter ahead of Game 1 of the Wild Card Series. What's up, Jay?
Hey, guys. Not a whole lot to add, obviously, from the game standpoint, but from the atmosphere standpoint, and this is no surprise, we're having October baseball in September. And I know you would say, well, we've had October baseball the entire month, and it's true, we have. But this game on the calendar falls in September. The mood outside of the stadium, you would know if it was a wild card series, a divisional series, or a World Series game. The scene is exactly what you would expect it to be. As for the game itself, I'll be real quick here. I probably will echo. I didn't hear what you guys had to say about it. I expect it to go exactly the way the Gavin Williams pitched, Tarek Skubal pitched games have gone recently, and that's we'll likely see both starters work into the 6th or 7th inning. It will be a close, low-scoring game. They'll hand it over to the bullpens, and you know what I think about that. I give the bullpen advantage to the Guardians. So if I had to give a score prediction, I'd say 3-2, 2-1 Guardians. Let's win Game 1. They've got 2 to win 1. I like our pitching better than Detroit's. So, but I was just talking to Bobby DiBiasio, and he said something that really made me laugh. We were just talking about expectations. I said, what do you think? He goes, Jay, I've been doing this a very long time. I've learned more this month than ever before. Expect craziness. You can't predict what's going to happen. So let's buckle up, hold on for the ride, and hopefully we'll have a win to talk about. I'll be on 3 News at 4 and 5 after the game with full post-game coverage. Hopefully we'll start the series 1-0. Guys, back to you. Enjoy the game.
Appreciate
Go ahead,
it.
Jay.
No, Jay, I wanted you said that it's going to be like 3-2, 2-1. That's one of them have to do with Big Christmas hitting the home run.
I actually haven't factored that in, but you brought that up a couple of weeks ago, and I laughed at it. And he ended up having a say in what the Guardians did down the stretch. So I'll say this. I won't be shocked if it's Christmas in September here at Progressive Field.
I see you on the train. Yes, got him.
By the way, like Jay is in the best shape of almost every nearly 60-year-old we know. But you know he's getting old because he's wearing a turtleneck and long sleeves. It's 75 degrees of humid, Jay.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm in the shade for the entire game. So
that's what old people say.
Yeah, and you're right.
It gets a little brisk.
At 60 years old. Yeah, at 60 years old, it's always chilly out.
Yeah. All right, Jay, have fun at the game.
Thanks, Jay.
Have fun at the game.
Enjoy the game, guys.
It's going to be a great afternoon at Progressive Field.
Facts.
I actually think it's going to end up being a little bit of a higher-scoring game than people think. There's been a lot of low-scoring games.
So Big Christmas going to come through for you.
He might. I wouldn't bet on it, but
Bull,
you never know.
I feel like you're a guy. See, Jay is a dude who, if the Guardians is playing, he want to be in the building.
Yeah.
He has to. Like, I feel like you're a home guy. I
Yeah.
feel like you
You
don't,
went to the Cubs and
I feel like
I
you
went
don't-
at Wrigley.
You don't.
But
you don't do.
I mostly these days like to watch at home.
Because
well,
you
I mean, I
can-
do a post game right after, but I like to watch it on TV.
Yeah,
I like my replays.
Yeah.
Was that
I like
the-
to go to the bathroom easily.
Yeah.
Was that
Yeah.
the last playoff baseball game you went to?
Game 5 at Wrigley Field, Cubs Guardians. Yes.
Dang, I can't tell you the last time I've been to a baseball game.
Was that a baseball game?
Period.
Yeah.
Well,
Like Guardians game.
Didn't we go as a team?
No, y'all went. I didn't go.
my mom and
Why
dad.
didn't you go?
My mom and dad be going
I think
every
I
week.
had because that's back when I was working afternoons in Columbus.
Right. You had to dip out.
We should do that again. Obviously next year at this point, but we should.
We should. Bo, you and I spoke on the phone last night, and we had a fun little idea on how to wrap up this because the game starts in 20 minutes. Nothing we say, it's not going to live. So
30 minutes. 108.
I guess
I don't know why it's
110 is
108.
It's 108. It's exactly 30 minutes away.
Yeah, I don't know why it's 108. Where did they come up with the 08?
I'm not sure. But
Anyway.
the question I had, the thought I had,
Yeah.
I thought we'd have some fun. I don't want to ask you guys to put yourself in Stephen Vogt's shoes and tell us how you pump up the team before a game 1 situation. So I took this even bigger picture. I wanted to zoom out. What has to happen? What has to go right over the next month and a half for the Guardians not just to win this series, Bull, but to win the World Series?
Sticks.
Okay. Specifically who? Anybody?
No, it is.
You know who, but I'm not gonna say that
yeah.
name. I'm not gonna say it.
I think they have to ride exactly. That's the encouraging part, is do exactly what they're doing now. They don't have anybody that's gonna, in baseball, even if you get hot. Like, hot is, relative. Like, you can't carry anybody. But if you can still continue to have pitching the way they have, and have timely hitting, and I mean timely in the way where it's like, hey, yeah, we didn't get no hits all day, we didn't knock any guys in, but in the 7th inning we got 2 runs because we had timely hitting and 2 outs. That's the type of stuff that needs to happen. They can't just count on the middle of their lineup just hitting a bunch of home runs. They still need to play it in a way where it's timely, where you depend, and everybody that comes up to bat believes that, hey, we're not done until the last out. They need timely hitting, and they need to do it in a collective approach. And the cool thing about it is that's how they got here to start with.
So here's what I think. Unfortunately, I don't think you can win without the power anymore. And so, yes, they need to pitch great, which they've done, and I expect that to happen. But if you tell me the Guardians are going to win the World Series, that means they've overachieved, right?
Yes.
The Guardians are, there's a reason why they're tied for the I think only the Reds are a bigger long shot to win the World Series. There's a reason for that. And it's not because the odds makers hate the Guardians. It's because you look at their roster and it doesn't stack up with some of the other teams. So they've got to be able to do something that is not expected for them to win the World Series. I expect them to pitch, the starters to pitch well. I expect the bullpen to pitch well. I expect them to be able to get singles and string together some runs from time to time. But the reality is, guys, that in the playoffs, when you're facing the best teams, there's no White Sox, there's no Twins, there's no, Rockies, there's no bad teams you're facing. The worst team you're going to face is probably the Tigers aren't a bad team. They're
right.
not playing well. So when you play the Tigers and you play the Mariners, and then, if you keep going, you play the Yankees or the Blue Jays or the Red Sox, and then potentially the Dodgers or the Phillies, you're going to have to hit home runs. And you're going to have to hit way more home runs than you are expecting from this team. That's a lot to ask because it's not a good power hitting team. But when they won last year against the Tigers, they hit home runs. In that series, they hit a bunch of home runs. You can't
timely hitting be hitting home runs from people that don't usually hit them?
Sure, that's true, yes. But what I'm saying is, like, the way they won that game against the Tigers in Schuylkill, where the ball never left
no.
You can't consistently win that type of way.
No.
I know that's an extreme, but remember, teams are going to be ultra aggressive with their bullpens. And so, like, let's say they get past the Tigers. This is a short series. Okay, you're going to play the Mariners. The Mariners have one of the best bullpens in baseball. So, and they got a good rotation. So they're going to be ultra aggressive. They can match the Guardians pitching wise, probably as much as any other team.
And I don't like playing at this stage.
You're going to have to hit home runs to beat the Mariners. Like, you might be able to win 2 games here without hitting many home runs against the Tigers because they are not, they're not a massive home run hitting club, although they can hit more now that Torkelson's legit this year and Green. But you could maybe get away with it. But as you get to the longer series, you can't get away with like just singling the team to death. And I know a lot of people, well, we're not going to be able to do that. Well, yeah, on paper, they're not really the type of team that could do that. But we're only asking them to do it for a few weeks. And if that's the key. If they can hit home runs, and it all starts with Jose.
I was about
now,
to
Jose earlier in his career, people are like, Jose stinks in the playoffs. Well, he didn't stink in the playoffs early in his career. He was fine to good at times early in his career. But the last few years, the last bunch of times they've been in the playoffs, he's been really bad. They cannot win if he's bad. They cannot win a World Series if he's bad. It's just not going to happen. Because if they're going to surprise us with more home runs than we expect, it's got to be led by him. Because he's the one guy we know can hit home runs against anybody. I'm not going to throw him under the bus, but somebody that is involved with the show said he thinks that Jose Ramirez gets tight in the playoffs. I don't believe that for a minute. I think that's an excuse that we rationalize because he hasn't been good in recent years. There is nothing about Jose Ramirez's game, the way he plays, that ever shows he's uptight. I don't believe that for a minute. Even in the playoffs, he goofs around with guys on the other team. He's not uptight. Sometimes baseball is bad luck, right? Sometimes you hit the ball on the button and it goes right to a fielder. Sometimes you hit one, you barely hit it, and it drops into an unknown spot. This is not the NBA where a great player like LeBron James is almost never going to play a bad game. The greatest players in the history of baseball play bad games in the playoffs. There's no exceptions to that. There's not a single great player that you can name that hasn't had a bad game in the playoffs. Multiple bad games for most of them. Series for great players, Hall of Famers, where they bat 100. That would never happen with LeBron. That's just the nature of the sport.
There is some players that didn't play well. That's always played well in the postseason.
What do you mean?
In basketball.
That always play badly in the
That always played well.
Yeah.
They never had a bad game in the postseason. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I didn't say that doesn't. I'm saying it happens in basketball. It doesn't happen in baseball.
Yeah, well, it don't happen with my guys, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay, that's
Finish
what I'm
your
saying.
thought.
So Jose's got to lead the way. He's going to have to play great in this postseason. And then guys like Rocchio, Bo Naylor, C.J. Kafis, Chase DeLauder, Gabriel Arias. These guys, John Kenzie Noel.
Man,
Don't get me
They're
smiling
going to have
over
to
here.
hit some home runs in clutch spots. That's how you get to. That's how they're going to win the World Series.
How did you forget the most important guy out of that?
Yeah.
He's in your big three.
Yeah, well, I didn't
Kwan?
count him because
No, Manzardo.
right. No. I'm expecting Manzardo to be fine and hit a couple of home runs.
No, not fine. That's another
That's
way.
true. That's
Ain't
true.
no
They need
fine.
him. I mean, 27 home runs.
If he can get you, if you can, you got a 2 right now, Tyvus. He plays so well that you move him into the big 3.
Yeah.
You got
No,
three
you're right.
sticks.
He has to have a big series too. They need him too. He's by far their second best power hitter. That's the most home runs by a Guardians player not named Jose or Josh Naylor since.
Michael Brantley?
No.
I said it.
No, it's
I said it a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it's my boy. What's my boy with the power?
He had one good year.
What is his
Franmil Reyes.
Franmil Reyes?
Most home runs by a Guardian not named Josh Naylor or
I
Ramirez.
got a tweet bowl,
Yeah.
and it asked me if I could do something on the show, and we have time, so let's do it real
Yeah.
quick. And Tyvus, feel free to chime in, and we could all, but I'm not going to pretend to the
it's
Tigers
baseball
lineup
related.
as much as I can.
Yeah.
Remember when we used to draft the 10 best players before a Browns game on Fridays?
Yeah.
This person asked, who are the 10 best players in the series? Guardians versus Tigers. And how would that draft go?
How would that draft go? Like if we were starting a team?
No, like for right now,
There's 5 best
for
players.
this
Is
series.
it Scooble or Jose as your first
No,
pick?
Scooble would go 1.
Then
Jose would go 2. Gavin Williams would go 3.
Stephen Kwan.
Riley Green's probably 4.
I'm thinking Kate Smith maybe 4.
Oh, good call.
I'm just trying to think about it. So guys I would consider for 4. Kate Smith,
Riley Green.
Riley Green,
Stephen Kwan.
Quan,
Manzardo.
not for 4.
Is Glaber up there?
No,
Kerry Carpenter. Spencer Torkelson.
not for 4. No.
Them 6-piece nuggets.
I would take Cade Smith 4. Maybe I'm a little biased, but I would take Cade Smith 4. 5, I would go Riley Green. 6, I'd go Quan. 7. All right, now I'd probably go Kerry Carpenter 7. 8 could be, all right, candidates for 8. Oh, no, 8 is Bybee. 9, we got candidates are Manzardo. Maybe Kyle Finnegan, their closer. I don't love him. Maybe Will Vest for them. Maybe Torkelson. Who else am I forgetting on the Tigers? Maybe Gleiber. I would probably go, and then you got the rest of the Guardian starters. I don't like the rest of the Tigers starters. I would say Kyle Finnegan, the Tigers closer, I'll put 9. I'll take Torkelson 10. And then I'll put Kyle Manzardo 11. And I'll Gleyber Torres of the Tigers 12. That's my top 12. Off the top of my head, maybe I forgot. Maybe Will Vest, the Tigers relief pitcher, is good. I don't know.
You forgot about John Kinsley.
What was the split? If real quick, because you did 12. Was that 7-5? If my math's correct.
Was it? What's that?
7-5.
7-5 Guardians. Well, I had Gavin, Bybee, Cade Smith, Jose,
Quan.
Manzardo, and Quan.
It's 6-6.
Oh, 6-6.
Yeah, but I think I had more Guardians in the top 5.
So he definitely had more Guardians in the top 5.
But 6-6, right? Because I had on the other side, I had Skubal, Gleiber, Riley Green, Torkelson, Carpenter, and Finnegan.
If this was switched around and the Guardians played on the road, how do you think that would change? Would you pick would you pick the Tigers if they played these?
The Guardians played really well in Detroit. They went 6-1 in Detroit this year. So I don't know that just the way both teams are playing. I think they're pretty evenly matched. The Guardians have an edge in the pitching. The Tigers have an edge in the hitting. But I think the Guardians' edge in pitching, to me, outside of Skubal, is significantly bigger. But they have Skubal for one of the 3 games, so that's a big difference. I would probably pick the Guardians either way. Maybe I'm just prisoner of the moment. You know, if the Tigers kind of reset them, they were the better team by a lot for most of this year. But they have not played well at all the second half, and especially down the stretch. And that's a big reason why I like the Guardians in this series.
Yeah, I think home and away in baseball is, I think, the least of all the home field advantages.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it matters. It's more about, with baseball, it's more about, there's something about, if it's a close game, having the last licks, matters. Like, this is a silly comparison, but I'll bring it up anyway. For my baseball league, the game is suspended and we're going to extra innings. And I feel like, since we're the home team, I feel like it's an advantage. Not because of crowd noise, obviously, but just knowing how many runs you got to get in the bottom of the inning is big. As opposed to when you're at the top of the inning, you're like, oh my God, we got to get more. We got to get more because we don't know how many runs the other team is going to score.
Yeah.